Last week, I did not show up for myself. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kyla and we are on day 11 of Project 50. You would think that 11 days in that I would have some sort of consistency, some sort of flow going, and I don't. We are nearing the end of the first full week, but technically week 2 of Project 50, and I'm doing low-key really bad. I have 10 habits that I'm trying to complete every day, and my average across the last 11 days has been 5.6 habits out of 10. I'm barely hitting half of my habits every day. So it's not going great. I would come up with an excuse for a reason of why it was okay to skip one of my habits. Whether it be practicing Mandarin or getting content in or waking up at 5 or journaling, there was always an excuse that was coming up for why I wouldn't complete 1 or 2 or 3 or even one day all 10 of my habits. Whenever you say you're gonna do something later, you're never gonna do it later. But I am sick of it. I'm actually really disappointed in myself, and that's not helping because when I get disappointed in myself, it like slows my momentum down and it just keeps causing for a lot of these things to keep happening. I keep skipping more habits and it's just not a very good cycle, and I'm sick of it. We are rolling into week 3, or rather full week 2. I know that's really confusing, and I am wanting to make some changes so that I'm hitting all 10 habits every day. So I'm creating a plan this week. Last week I did not have a plan going into the week. It was just, oh, I've got things to do this week and I've got work this week. I didn't plan anything out, and I think maybe, probably not, but maybe if I had a plan, things might have gone a little bit differently. So this week I am intentionally setting a plan. So welcome to my weekly reset and plan video. Most of the planning that I do, whether it's for Project 50 or anything school related, anything, is pretty much all digital. I have like 3 different places that I track my plans and like to-do lists and blah, blah, blah. There's a lot. I'm a very planning person. I like when things are in order, when I have an idea of what I'm getting myself into, and really it's just a matter of like committing to myself to like actually follow through with those things, which I'm hoping to do this week. I show up for myself, I'm building trust with myself, and that is what matters. We are going to start by looking at my calendar for the week. Alright, so as you can see, we're working with a pretty blank calendar. Right now there's only 2 things in my weekly calendar, and that's Project 50, which is obviously all of this, and then dog sitting. I will be dog and house sitting for a family. I have a dog and house sat for them before a couple of weeks ago, and I know that it is going to throw a little bit of a curveball into some habits and planning that I want to do, but we're gonna try it nonetheless to make it work. So today's Saturday. I'm not gonna start planning on Sunday. Sundays are pretty much like kind of chill at home days. We don't do a whole lot. Maybe we'll go grocery shopping. Nothing crazy. So I'm gonna start from Monday. I am gonna put in my wake up times, like basically plan everything minute to minute. It's not necessarily the most productive for everyone, but I do find that like seeing it laid out helps me manage my time a little bit more productively. Am I likely to stick to this minute by minute? No, but visually it helps a lot. From 5:30 to 6:15, I know that I want to get my 45 minutes of exercise in, and I'm going to put that under health. And boom, look at that, already 2 habits on the calendar, and it isn't even 7 a.m. for Monday Kyla yet, so pretty great. Waking up, all of that, pretty easy to fit into my calendar. It's the bulk of the day that gets a little bit more challenging. So right now I'm currently balancing about 3 jobs plus some side hustles like dog sitting, and my weeks are spontaneous and not very consistent, so it makes planning very difficult sometimes. One of my internships that I have isn't very difficult because it's 3 hours a week and I get to pick the hours that I work around my schedule, so it's pretty easy. My other internship can be a little bit more tricky. It kind of depends on what tasks I have for that week and also whether I'm in school or not. For example, when I was in school, there were tasks that I was working on for pretty long periods of time and were consistent, so I was working second semester from 8:30 to 11:30 in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That was very consistent. In the summers, it's a little bit different. My tasks have kind of been on and off for the last couple of weeks. So for example, last Thursday, I had plans to do something else with my day when I had gotten a text from my amazing boss saying, hey, I have a project for you. can you work on it? And so I ended up working most of the day, even though I didn't plan on it. And that's kind of what it's been continuously like. So I'm not sure what I'll actually be working this week. And then my other job, it happens on my campus at Drake. And so I kind of get to pick those shifts. I do get to pick those shifts. But this week, because of the dog sitting schedule and what other people have chosen for their shifts, I haven't picked up any shifts. So we're really only working around 2 jobs this week, which is pretty good. Now let's get back into planning Monday. Now I'm not thinking that I'll have a new task by Monday. It's always possible that it will change. So right now I'm planning on spending at least most of the morning cleaning and doing some physical reset for the week. This video is pretty much on my digital planning reset. I do like actual physical resets on Monday. So fun fact, I'm only putting myself cleaning until 11:30, and I'm not gonna block anything out for the 11:30 to 12:30 time because that's when my mom has lunch, so that's when I get to spend time with her. So I prefer not to be doing anything while she's at home on her lunch break, and so I don't schedule anything for it. But I will plan out my language practice for right after lunch, and then I'm going to put a little bit of like maybe a 15-minute break in there, and then I'm gonna do content creation. After that, I'll probably pretty much leave it open until about 4:45, 4:30. I'll keep it at 4:30, and that will be for dinner prep, and that way that is getting done. In this like 3:30 to 4:30 time slot, either I'll do more cleaning or I'll just chill, or if I have work, I'll work on work. Like I said, this is not at all set in stone. And then I think around 8:30 I'll put in some designated time to journal. It's kind of crazy because like Sunday's the finale for Love Island, and my mom and I've been watching consistently every night since it started, and so it's like, what are we gonna do at 8 o'clock every night? Go to bed, I guess? I don't know. But boom, that is Monday planned. We're gonna do the same thing for Tuesday all the way through Friday. This is where planning gets kind of difficult, not knowing my work schedule, because I could put down cleaning again for Tuesday, and I probably will just because then I can take my time doing it, but I also can't put down time for work. So I'm going to throw in my first hour and 15 minutes of journal work, which is my internship where I can pick my hours, so that's nice. Alright, and then I am gonna leave Thursday and Friday open just because I'm not entirely sure yet. I know that Thursday morning I'm still gonna be home, which is great. I know that I'm going over to their house to start dog sitting sometime in the late afternoon. I'll clarify with the family on Monday. So I am not entirely sure what that day is looking like, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I will either Friday, I'm probably just gonna stay there the whole time, and I'll be working on my beautiful little spreadsheet that I have, just because it's pretty empty and I want to get it done. So I have a feeling that's most of what Friday is gonna look like. So I will make it like on my to-do list, like I'll put, because I'll show you guys my like how I do like my day-to-day to-do list on Google Calendar as well. So I'll just put like language practice and content creation within the task list, but I'm not actually gonna like plan anything. But we're not done with the weekly Google Calendar. I'm gonna show you guys how I plan out my tasks for the week too. All right, so we're gonna open up our tasks. Right now I have no tasks, which is great, but I have a lot of tasks. So we're gonna start with Monday. So I know I need to do my laundry on Monday. I'm gonna put all of my habits in here as well. Alright, so I have all of my tasks kind of set up for the week for the most part. I know like Monday I have a little bit more in there just because I'm planning on knowing what Monday looks like a little bit more. And then I've added an additional task for Tuesday because I know that I'll be working on the journal. And I have some duplications in Monday, so I know that looks a little funky, but it's totally okay. But yeah, so these are kind of what I want my tasks to look like Monday through Friday, and I will add to them every day. So this is my massive spreadsheet. I kind of am treating this spreadsheet is essentially my Notion board, except it's not Notion because I've tried to use Notion for like the last 4 years and I still haven't figured it out. But I know how to use Google Sheets a lot better, so I kind of just made a Google Sheet instead. So here's basically the main area right now. I'm tracking Project 50 in my focus area, so it tells me what day it is, how far I'm in, and then obviously I have a Harlexton countdown, but actual tracking for Project 50 is in my project center, and here is my beautiful tracker. It was freaking amazing. I really like it, and I meant to show it to you guys in the last video and I didn't, but that's okay. I have my goals over here. I have my habits written out over here. Here's my overall progress, and here's how I'm doing with each progress on those. Some are not looking all that good. I have 0 perfect days, you guys. It's very sad. My average score, told you guys earlier, is 5.6 out of 10. We're on day 11. My top habit is waking up at 5 a.m., which is really weird because I don't feel like I've been doing very good at that. And then I need to spend more time journaling, which is understandable. So I wanted to show you guys my project center, but we are basically going to go back to the management hub and write out the weekly tasks. And I'm not going to do the daily task quite yet. I will do daily tasks every single day. And I'm not going to be too detailed about this because this spreadsheet is still a work in progress. So we'll get there with it though. Not too many weekly tasks. I have about 5. Obviously I want to hit my Project 50 habits. I have dog sitting this week. I always put down 3 hours for the journal just because sometimes, because I get to pick my own hours, I sometimes forget about that. It's also my like least amount of hours job, so I always put it down on my weekly to do because sometimes I will forget. It is my bi-weekly deep clean, so basically last week, like I still clean every Monday and Tuesday, but it was a little bit like we'll just like wipe down the surface. Obviously I did more than that, but it was a little bit lighter versus every other week I try and do like an actual deep clean. So that's this week. And then I want to work on the spreadsheet. It's looking good so far. Obviously it's very blank still. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing. Oh, well, I have my project list and I have some stuff on my wellness center, but it's literally just been a place for me to like make grocery lists and meal plan, which isn't bad. Nothing my library center, nothing my career center, housekeeping, travel, archive, all of that good stuff. And I want to have as much of this like complete by the end of the week as I can. That's on the weekly task list. Alright, so pretty much most of my digital planning for the week is done. I didn't do meal planning or grocery list planning quite yet, just because I really need to be strategic about it, because I know that Thursday and Friday I won't be home, which also means like, yes, I really do need to meal plan so that I'm eating Thursday and Friday, but also what does that look like? So that will be a challenge that I look at about Monday. I typically don't do meal planning stuff until Sundays or Mondays when I can sit down and talk to my family about it. But yeah, that's kind of just what planning looks like week to week for me with my calendar and my spreadsheets. It's not super complicated, but it does kind of help give me an idea of what I should be doing for the week. Let me know if you guys want some more in-depth details on really how I use Google Calendar, how I have everything laid out, how I'm making my spreadsheet, how I work with my spreadsheet, and overall just any videos that have to do with planning. I really do like planning quite a bit, so I'm happy to make more videos about it. I hope you guys liked seeing a little bit more of like the more mundane side of such a big project. I know we tend to see like vlogs about it, but there's a lot of planning that goes into it, and obviously I needed to plan a little bit more with the way my week went last week. Now that it's pretty much all planned out, I'm hoping for a much better week. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that post notification bell, and I will see you guys in another video next week. Bye.